നോട്ടീസിൽ ഓർപ്പിച്ചതുപോലെ വീണ്ടും തുടർന്ന് നമ്മുടെ സെഷന് ഡോക്ടർ ജേക്കബ് ചെറിയാന് നമുക്ക് ആവശ്യമായ പ്രത്യേക സന്ദേശം നൽകുന്നതാണ്. ഈ ദിവസങ്ങളിൽ നാം എല്ലാവരും ഈ രോഗത്തിന്റെ ഭീതിയിലായിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഈ സേഫ്റ്റി ടിപ്സ്, സുരക്ഷിത മാർഗങ്ങളെ കുറിച്ച് ഇപ്പോൾ ഡോക്ടർ ജേക്കബ് ചെറിയാന് നമ്മോട് സംസാരിച്ചതിന് ശേഷം അദ്ദേഹമായിട്ട് ഇന്ററാക്ട് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസിനുള്ള അവസരം ഉണ്ടെന്നുള്ളത് ഓർപ്പിക്കുന്നു. എന്നൊക്കെ അവർക്ക് അറിയാവുന്ന ഞാൻ ഡോക്ടർ സജി ഒന്ന് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്തിട്ട് എന്നൊക്കെ അവർക്ക് അറിയാം. നമ്മുടെ സഭാംഗമാണ്, കഞ്ഞിക്കുഴി ഇടവാംഗമാണ് അദ്ദേഹം. ഈ ദിവസങ്ങളായിട്ട് മെഡ്കെയർ ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽ ഇന്ത്യയുടെ മെഡിസിൻ വിഭാഗത്തിൽ ഡയറക്ടറായിട്ട് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നു. അത് എഴുതിയ ഒരു ആർട്ടിക്കിൾ നിങ്ങളെ ഖലീജ് ടൈംസിലും മനോരമയിൽ വായിച്ചു കാണുമെന്ന് വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു. അതിന്റെ പശ്ചാത്തലത്തിലാണ് ഇപ്രകാരം നമുക്ക് ആവശ്യമായ ഒരു സന്ദേശത്തിന് വേണ്ടി അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ആവശ്യപ്പെടുകയും ഡോക്ടർ സജീദ് വളരെ സ്നേഹത്തോടുകൂടി നമ്മോട് സ്വീകരിക്കുകയും ചെയ്ത് കോട്ടയം കഞ്ഞിക്കുഴി ഇടവകയുടെ അംഗമാണ് അദ്ദേഹം. ബാംഗ്ലൂരിൽ നിന്നും MBBS-ഉം MD-യും പാസ്സായതിനു ശേഷം വിദേശ രാജ്യങ്ങളിൽ അടുത്ത പ്രവർത്തിച്ച ശേഷമാണ് ഇവിടെ വന്ന് അദ്ദേഹം പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നത്. 25 വർഷമായിട്ട് ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ വൈദ്യശാസ്ത്ര രംഗത്ത് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നു. എല്ലാവിധമായ നന്മയും ദൈവം നൽകട്ടെ. ഇന്ത്യയുടെ മെഡിസിനിൽ ഇവിടെയുള്ള ഒരു സ്പെഷ്യലിസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടാണ് ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നത്. ഇവരാഴ്ച മെഡിക്കൽ അസോസിയേഷൻ, കർണാടക മെഡിക്കൽ അസോസിയേഷൻ, കേരള മെഡിക്കൽ അസോസിയേഷൻ എന്നിവയുടെ അംഗം കൂടിയാണ് അദ്ദേഹം. അതുപോലെ നാം പലരും മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നത് അദ്ദേഹം ബഹുഭാഷാ പണ്ഡിതനാണ്. ഇംഗ്ലീഷ്, ഹിന്ദി, കന്നഡ, തമിഴ്, മലയാളം ഇങ്ങനെ 5 ഭാഷകൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്യാൻ ദൈവം അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ഇടയാക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. കൃത്യമായി നന്ദി സ്മരിക്കുന്നു. സഹധർമ്മിണി ഷേർലി ജേക്കബ് നമുക്കറിയാവുന്ന പോലെ അവറോൺ സ്കൂൾസ്, ജെയിംസ് സ്കൂൾസിന്റെ ചെയർമാൻ സണ്ണി വർഗയുടെ സഹോദരിയുടെ മകളാണല്ലോ. അവരെ കുടുംബമായി നമുക്ക് ലഭിച്ച എല്ലാം നമുക്ക് വിശ്വാസം ചെയ്യുന്നു. കുടുംബമായി ഇവരെ കാത്തു പരിപാലിക്കട്ടെ. ഈ സമയത്ത് ഡോക്ടർ ജേക്കബ് ചെറിയാന് സംസാരിക്കാനായിട്ട് അവസരം നൽകുന്നു. വീഡിയോ ഓൺ ചെയ്യാതെ ദയവായി നിങ്ങൾ വീഡിയോ ഓൺ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള അർപ്പിക്കുന്നു. എന്നാലും നമുക്ക് കാണാമല്ലോ. അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ഈ സെഷന് ശേഷം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സംശയങ്ങളോ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. ഡോക്ടർ അതിന് മറുപടി തരുന്നതാണ്. ഓവർ ടു ഡോക്ടർ ജേക്കബ് ചെറിയാൻ. ഡോക്ടർ സജി.
Thank you, Achin. Thank you for this. Thank you, Achin. Thank you for those kind words. I also like to thank Achin for giving me this opportunity. And I also like to take this opportunity to thank the church for praying for all of us, health workers, every week, which actually gives us a lot of strength and courage during these difficult situations, which is physically and psychologically tiring. Please continue to remember us in your prayers. I'll take you through my slides, which is to all right. I hope everybody can hear and see the slides. The current situation in Dubai or in UAE, as we all know, that's about 37,000 cases as of today, 273 deaths, and which is much less compared to other countries. Like നമ്മുടെ mortality rate is only about 0.74%. അതേസമയം WHO-യുടെ കണക്കനുസരിച്ച് as of March 3rd, അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അവർ അനൗൺസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല, it's 3.4%. There's another calculation called infection fatality rate, which means it is like the infection വന്നിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാരിൽ എത്ര പേര് മരിച്ചു എന്നുള്ള കണക്ക്. Worldwide calculation അനുസരിച്ച് it's 10.8% as of now. And UAE, it's only 1.3%. Actually, we are fortunate enough to have such a low mortality rate. One moment. All right. This is probably because we have a relatively young and healthy population in UAE. There are people who come here for work and they retire back home. So the elderly population is quite less in the UAE. That is one of the main reasons. The other reason is the authorities took like measures quite early, like early closure of schools, which helps in reducing the community spread. Intensive testing was started at a very early stage. Restriction of social gatherings, movement restrictions, and all these things have helped to reduce the spread in the communities significantly. And plus the people in UAE, I believe, have complied with the regulations, which also has helped us. And this is the same reason why in Kerala, also the numbers are quite low, because our early intervention was there. Like what I believe is China, Wuhan virus, there was a task force which was organized in Kerala, and that's the main reason why the spread and the numbers are quite low in Kerala. I'm sure all of you have read quite a bit about coronavirus. Coronavirus is quite new to all of us, including us. There's not much information. There's not much research gone into it. But as of now, according to the numbers, like 80% alkarkum, the infection is mild or asymptomatic. Only 15% requires admission to the hospital for moderate to severe infection, requiring only oxygen, and 5% goes into critical care, requiring ventilation. 80% of asymptomatic or mild patients are actually responsible for this rampant spread of this infection. But ഒത്തിരി ആൾക്കാർക്കും അവർക്ക് അറിയത്തില്ല that they have infection, and they go around mingling with other people and spreading the infection. And this is why the disease is getting so rampant. And this slide actually explains to us how important is social distancing. Like restriction ഒന്നും ഇല്ല എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഒരാൾക്ക് 5 ദിവസം കൊണ്ട് 2 to 3 people can get infected because of that one person. In 30 days, more than 400 people can get infected just from one person if there is no restrictions. അതേസമയം 50% exposure limitations ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ that 2.5 എന്നുള്ളത്, it will come down to 1.25, and 30 ദിവസത്തിൽ it will be only 15 people. And like 75% ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ something like lockdown what we had, in 5 days it's less than 1 person gets affected, and in 30 days it's only 2.5 people who gets infected. So this actually explains to us how important is social distancing, how important is wearing a mask, a gloves, and maintaining a distance of 6 meters, 6 feet, 2 meters between people. Like I would like to explain today about the importance of mask and gloves. So, നമ്മൾ പലരും മാസ്കും ഗ്ലൗസും ധരിച്ച് വെളിയിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ we feel that we are secure. We are not going to get this infection. It's a false sense of security. It's actually not true. I'll explain that to you. Especially if this is not used properly, it can be either useless or more harmful. Like most of us leave home with wearing a mask and a gloves, but do not understand what can go wrong if you don't use it properly. I'll explain that. Like there are 3 different types of masks which is commonly used. The first one is a surgical mask, which is a single-use mask and disposable. The second one is cloth mask. Cloth mask is namukku medikkan pattum, allannunnengil we can make it at home. And the third one is the N95 mask. N95 mask is used predominantly in the medical field. Like it is usually reserved for medical professionals, and especially because current situation there is shortage of N95 mask. Surgical mask or the regular disposable mask which we use. By wearing this mask, I don't know how much you have realized who's going to benefit out of wearing this mask. Like e mask dharikkumbam we get protection only to a limited extent. But if, for example, when you go out, you're sitting with 4 people. Like if there is one person who has got infection among that 4 people, and if that person is not wearing a mask, then the other 3 people getting infection is much higher, even if they are wearing a mask. So which means the person who's having the infection should be the one to wear the mask, and he should be wearing the mask compared to the others, because it is basically to prevent the infection from a person who has the infection. And like I told you earlier, 80% of the people do not know they have infection. Other main reason, like they are not intentionally doing it. It is an unintentional thing. So that is the reason why it is strict that everybody should be wearing a mask, because people do not know if they are infected or not, unless they go and test, and they do not have symptoms. They don't go and test. So it's important that everybody wears a mask, and the person who's wearing the, if you suppose if there is somebody among you who's not wearing a mask, your colleague or friend or somebody, you actually have to insist him to wear the mask, because it is for your protection. It's not for his protection. See, like I said, it's a single-use mask. ഒത്തിരി പേര് അത് തെറ്റായിട്ട് ഇടുന്ന ഞാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. ലൈക്ക് ആ മാസ്കിന് 2 സൈഡ് ഉണ്ട്, ഒന്ന് വെളിയിൽ വരേണ്ടതും ഒന്ന് അകത്ത് വരേണ്ടതും. അകത്ത് വരേണ്ട സൈഡ് is usually light color or white in color. This is because a white color surface that is made up of material which is to absorb the secretions which comes out from us, like through the nose, through the mouth. Like when we talk, there are micro droplets which come out, and other absorbium mediana are white surface. I've actually seen several people wearing it the other way around, the white surface outside and the blue surface inside, or the dark surface inside. So that's one thing which we need to be careful. It comes in 2 types, like ear loops and tie under. Before wearing the mask, you should inspect the mask to see if there is any tear or holes on the mask. Once you start wearing the mask, do not touch the mask. ഇത് പറയുന്നതിന്റെ കാരണം is because ഈ മാസ്ക് ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതിന്റെ വെളിയിലത്തെ സർഫസിൽ ചിലപ്പം ഈ വൈറസ് ഫിൽട്ടർ ചെയ്തിട്ട് വൈറസിന്റെ പ്രസൻസ് കാണും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വൈറസ് പാർട്ടിക്കിൾസ് കാണും. സോ നമ്മൾ കൈ കൊണ്ട് അവിടെ തൊട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മുടെ കൈ ഗെറ്റ്സ് കണ്ടാമിനേറ്റഡ്, or I mean the fingers gets contaminated. എന്നിട്ട് that's how we can get the infection. So if നമ്മൾ മാസ്ക് ഇട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് അത് അഡ്ജസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ വന്നാൽ അത് അഡ്ജസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് either ഹാൻഡ് സാനിറ്റൈസർ യൂസ് ചെയ്യണം, അല്ലെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ കൈ കഴുകണം with soap and water. Hand sanitizers, when you're buying hand sanitizers, always remember it should have at least 70% alcohol. ഇല്ലെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതുകൊണ്ട് അത്ര പ്രയോജനമില്ല. And we have to change the surgical mask every 4 to 5 hours, or if it gets damp, like adu nanayavanennundengil, we have to remove it earlier. I want to show you this short video which basically tells us how to wear the mask. That's a specific way of wearing the mask and removing the mask. Ipam tie cheyna mask aanennundengil മേലത്തെ ടൈ ആദ്യം കെട്ടണം, പിന്നെ താഴത്തെ ടൈ കെട്ടാവുള്ളൂ. അത് ഊരുന്ന സമയത്ത് ആദ്യം താഴത്തെ ടൈ ഊരണം, പിന്നെ മേളത്തെ ടൈ ഊരാവുള്ളൂ. ചിലപ്പം നമ്മൾ ഈ മാസ്ക് ഇട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് maybe in an hour's time it's time to have food. So you don't have to throw away the mask. You can actually store the mask during that period and then wear it again after your food. Like that's what this video shows. It's a short video which is only about 2 minutes.
In this video, we are going to discuss the proper use and reuse of face masks. When donning your face mask, you will first perform hand hygiene. When you are ready to don your mask, you will pick it up and place it over your face, making sure you cover both your mouth and your nose. If you have a tie mask, you will first tie the top tie. Once the top is secure, you will tie the bottom tie around your neck. Once the mask is tied, you will gently pat the bridge of your nose so the mask forms to your face. When donning your procedure mask, you'll place it on your face and loop it around each ear. Then you will gently pat it around your face to form it to the bridge of your nose and pull it under your chin. Before removing your mask, you will perform hand hygiene. You dock your procedure mask by unhooking it from your ear. When you are ready to dock your mask, you will first untie the bottom strap, then you will untie the top, and you will place it on a clean paper towel labeled with your name. Be sure that the strings of the mask are not sitting inside the mask. If you're wearing a procedural mask, place it face down on your paper towel like this. Notice that the exterior of the mask is always facing down. This is an example of inappropriate storage of your face mask on your towel because the front of the mask is facing up. This image demonstrates inappropriate wear of the procedure mask. Procedure masks should not be pulled under the mouth or on the chin. You should also not wear your mask around your elbow or any other body part. The surgical mask should never be worn hanging from around your neck. If you determine that you need to remove your mask, you need to completely remove it. It should never be halfway on or halfway off. If you need to place your procedure mask in a brown bag, make sure your brown bag is prepared, labeled front and back. After performing hand hygiene, you'll remove your procedure mask and place it in the brown bag, ensuring that the front of the mask is facing the front of the bag. You will want to ensure that the brown bag is open wide enough to place your mask in without contaminating it. This is an incorrect way to place your procedure mask on your brown bag. When you remove your procedure mask to eat or take a break, make sure you still are maintaining your 6 feet of social distancing. This includes break rooms, cafeterias, or conference rooms. If you are unable to maintain your 6 feet of social distancing, you will need to consider using another room.
I hope that helps, like the importance of how to handle your mask. And this is about a cloth mask. Either namak veetil undakam, either medicanum kittum. It's a cheap option. As the consumables are pretty expensive because of the demand. And the thing is, either every day we have to wash it after use. Either mostly use in a mask, it comes as single layer mask. Most of the time it is cotton, and the filtration rate of those masks is not very effective. Either surgical mask in a cartilum or a single layer cloth mask in the effectiveness. So there's a research which studied these kind of masks, and they have they tried different combinations. The most effective ones was if you use multiple layers of cotton and silk, or cotton and chiffon, or cotton and flannel. Combinations, they found the filtration rate was much effective. There was also mentioned that it can have a filtration rate of up to 75%. That's something which we all should consider if you are using a cloth mask. N95 mask. N95 mask, like I told you earlier, is mainly for healthcare workers. Believe me, either oru 8 manikkoorokku ittondu jolly and it's extremely difficult because ee mask wear cheyyumbom it has to have airtight seal all around, which means it is actually pressing onto your face and you feel suffocated. This is usually used when certain procedures are done, like an intubation, ventilation mumbai intubation cheyyumbom, suction cheyyumbom. Those are the situations we use this mask. And either airtight seal illa ennundengil, it is as good as using a cloth mask or a regular mask. Even in medical profession, we don't use it all the time. There are certain situations where we use it. This picture actually shows a healthcare worker who wore this mask for a longer period, and you can see the mark around her face, on her face, which shows how difficult it is to wear this mask for longer periods. Gloves. I would like to bring this topic about the gloves. The reason being, gloves, a lot of people, when they leave home, they wear the gloves. They wear it all through the things they have to, like for example, veetil irangumbam gloves it on irangum. They go to the supermarket, they all do all their shopping, come out of the supermarket, get in the car and come home. വീട്ടിൽ എത്തി കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഈ ഗ്ലൗസ് വരത്തുള്ളൂ. വീട്ടിൽ നിട്ടോണ്ട് ഇറങ്ങും, തിരിച്ച് വീട്ടിൽ വന്നിട്ട് ഗ്ലൗസ് വരും. This is a totally wrong practice, and by doing this, you're actually inviting more trouble. I'll explain that to you. Like let's go back to the same example. Like വീട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് ഇറങ്ങി സൂപ്പർമാർക്കറ്റിലെത്തി ട്രോളി എടുത്തു. ട്രോളിയുടെ ഹാൻഡിലെ പിടിച്ചു. ട്രോളിയുടെ ഇമാജിൻ ലൈക്ക് അതിന് മുമ്പ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ആ ട്രോളി അതിന് മുമ്പ് യൂസ് ചെയ്തിരുന്ന ആള് maybe he was positive, he doesn't know about it, so he has contaminated the trolley handle. So when we touch the trolley handle, blouse we are very confident. Blouse gets contaminated with the virus if it's present on the trolley handle. Then we go around the supermarket picking up things, and in between we touch our phone. Phone blouse virus phone. We might touch the purse. So you're actually contaminating everything. And then you leave the supermarket, you get into the car handle gets contaminated, the door handle, the steering, the gear knob, when you open the door knob, everything gets contaminated. And this is why it is not safe to wear a gloves continuously. You should wear a gloves to perform a particular task. Again, the same example, like when you're leaving home, don't wear the mask. Don't wear the gloves. When you reach the supermarket, just before entering the supermarket, wear the gloves. But do the supermarket shopping. As soon as you leave the supermarket, you throw the gloves. Don't use it again. Keep using hand sanitizers. Like nowadays, you can actually find hand sanitizers everywhere. And by law, it has to be kept everywhere. So keep using the hand sanitizers, like lift button press it, maybe at that point your finger is contaminated. Use the hand sanitizer. Keep washing your hands whenever it's possible. That is more safer than using a gloves continuously. In fact, when a patient like he said he has 2 pairs of gloves, he has been using it for the last 2 weeks repeatedly. I mean, I hope you understand the importance. And the next thing is removing the gloves. The gloves are removed very easier. If you don't do it in an appropriate way, it is going to harm you more, or rather you're going to contaminate yourself, and then there's no safety in doing it. Like I've seen people, like you play fingertips the gloves like gloves fingertips gloves 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 gloves. So what happens is your fingers, like the gloves is already contaminated. You contaminate your hands. Your fingers are contaminated, your hands are contaminated. And I've seen these people, they keep the gloves with them to wear it again later. Or gloves so during these acts, your hands are getting contaminated, and this in fact is exposing you more to the infection. This is a short video again just to show you how to safely remove your gloves.
Pinch the glove at the wrist level and pull it some distance away from the skin without touching the skin of the forearm. Peel the glove away from the hand, thus allowing it to turn inside out. Hold the removed glove in the gloved hand and slide the fingers of the ungloved hand between the glove and the skin of the wrist. Remove the second glove by rolling it down the hand and folding it over the first glove.
I hope you understood that. And this is, okay, take you quickly through this. This is basically to say the viruses or surface how long it will last. Plastic, it can stay up to 3 to 7 days, which is like food packings, water bottles, credit cards, remote controls, ATMs. So that's how long it can stay. Stainless steel, 3 to 7 days. Again, examples are door handles, metal railings like staircase railings, keys, cutlery, copper, which is usually coins, jewelry, cookware, only 4 hours. Paper, it can stay up to 4 days, which includes currency, paper towels, magazines, newspapers, glass, drinking glass up to 4 days, mirrors, windows, cardboard, which is usually food packings, like takeaway order, food packings, shipping boxes, which is basically Amazon, the courier boxes, which comes, it can stay up to 24 hours. I know people who keep boxes for more than 24 hours before they even open it. Wood is basically tabletops, furniture, shelving for 2 days. Vitamin D. Vitamin D deficiency in COVID-19. It's a lot of people are taking vitamin D supplements nowadays. Vitamin D do not prevent COVID infection. But vitamin D, if the blood levels of vitamin D is normal, then it can reduce the severity of COVID infection. Please note that. And നമ്മുടെ population, a large amount of our population has vitamin D deficiency. This is basically because we do not expose ourselves to the sunlight. 90% of the vitamin D comes from sunlight with exposure to ultraviolet rays. Only 10% comes from food, and food is usually oily fish. It can be beef liver, egg yolk. These are the ones which is rich in vitamin D, and only 10% comes from that. And if you want to get vitamin D from these food items, you have to have vitamin D. You have to have this food every day. Only then it will help. Otherwise, it won't. And the recommendation is 20 minutes of sun exposure, 20 to 30 minutes of sun exposure every day, or at least 4 times in a week, between 10 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാം നാട്ടിൽ പറയുന്നത് early morning or late afternoon, like that's the best time to go out in the sun. പക്ഷേ the recent studies shows that it's better to go during midday, because that's when maximum amount of ultraviolet rays are available, and you can get your vitamin D synthesized in a short period of time. When we go out in the sun, if we are completely covered in clothes, it's not going to help. At least 1/3 of our skin has to be exposed to the sunlight. The sunlight has to fall. നമ്മൾ വിൻഡോയുടെ പുറകിൽ ഇരുന്നിട്ട് സൺലൈറ്റ് വന്നിട്ട് കാര്യമില്ല. The ultraviolet rays do not penetrate the windows. Dark skin people needs longer time to be in the sun to produce the same amount of vitamin D the light skin people can produce. This is because dark skin alkarku melanin pigment on the skin, which acts as a natural sunblock. And if you go out in the sun and if you're applying sunblock, that also does not help you to produce vitamin D. Again, people who are staying further away from the equator, they need to spend more time in the sun to get vitamin D, because the ultraviolet rays density is less as it goes away from the equator. Vitamin D deficiency can cause low immunity, easy fatigability, aches and pains, weakness, depression, delayed wound healing, and hair loss. These are the usual things. Basically, vitamin D improves the immunity, which in turn helps to fight the infection. Too much of exposure to sun is also not good, because it can cause sunburns, cataract, retinal damage, accelerated skin aging, freckles, heat stroke, skin cancer. So vitamin D, it's good to meet your physician, because vitamin D blind ആയിട്ട് കഴിക്കുന്നത് നല്ലതല്ല. Vitamin D കൂടുതൽ കഴിച്ചാൽ it can cause toxicity, which also is not good for you. So the best thing to do is meet your physician, get your vitamin D checked, and take the dose what is recommended, so that the vitamin D remains normal, which can help you in case if you fall sick. I would like to conclude the talk by talking about 2 of my patients. Like it is young Indian couple in their early 30s. They came to me with the wife complaining of like fever, coughing, sore throat, all those typical symptoms. And she also had the classical symptom of anosmia, which means sense of smell for the last few days. So I asked her, I took a history. She said she was staying at home most of the time in the last 2 to 3 weeks. Not 2 to 3, 2 to 3 months she hasn't left home, except for supermarket. And in the last couple of weeks, she said she went to the physiotherapist because of back pain. She said she went alone, she wore her mask, she wore her gloves, and she went in a taxi. She did not use a public transport. So taxi carryapum, she naturally would have wore her gloves and mask. But imagine, maybe the guy who got in before her was a positive case. He would have held the car handle, he would have touched the seat, maybe she got it from there. She went to the physiotherapist who's doing a 1-to-1 session, and with all precautions. But she got the infection. From our talk, like you can imagine how she might have got it, maybe from the supermarket, maybe from the taxi, we do not know. The second is like her husband. Her husband was completely asymptomatic. One symptoms and he was completely fine. Since the wife was positive, I told him to check his, do his test also for COVID, and he came positive. He was positive and he had absolutely no symptoms. And those are the kind of people who actually spread the disease around. He doesn't know. Maybe he's the one who gave it to her, or he's the one who's going to go around and give it to the community, to his friends, to his relatives, without even being aware that he's positive. So that is why it is important to wear the gloves and the mask in the right way. And that's what it is stress upon. Thank you. And I'm happy to take questions if anybody has.
Yeah, if anyone has questions, now you can unmute yourself and you can ask questions.
Hello.
ആർക്കെങ്കിലും അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് പറ്റുന്നില്ല എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഒന്ന് കൈ ഉയർത്താമെങ്കിൽ ഞാനിവിടെ നിന്ന് അൺമ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. ജോൺ കുന്നങ്കൾ പറഞ്ഞോ അങ്കിളെ.
Thank you, Saji, for your useful information. My question is that you have talked about many things like gloves, like mask and things like that. My question is, how about the rest of the fabrics which we wear once we come from outside and come home? How soon we need to unclothe those things and what do we need to do?
Thank you, Asha. I did look up the same point about the fabric. There is no studies which says on fabric how long the virus can stay. But the advice is basically, as soon as you come home, you wash your hands until the level of your elbow with soap and water, and remove your clothes and send it for washing. That is what the advice is. Like, it should be done as soon as possible, because if it is on your clothes, it can contaminate the surfaces in your house. Acha, Kekamaya, it's muted.
Uncle, unmute ചെയ്യാം uncle. Uncle ഒരിക്കലും unmute ചെയ്യാം.
It's not advisable at all.
ഒരിക്കലും പറയാം.
Hello. From this, I understand that removing the clothes and hanging it on for a while is not advisable at all.
Definitely, that's what I meant.
Okay. The other thing is, maybe it looks funny. You said the virus can stay on the currency for 4 days, right?
Yes.
So if we buy something and get the change, and we say that come after 4 days, it's gone for the thing, forever.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I actually thought about it. What I would say is, like, stop using currency. When you go, like, again, the same example of supermarket, carry one credit card with you. Don't carry your wallet. Just carry one credit card with you. Pay your or debit card, pay your bills, and if you want, you can use sanitizer to just clean the credit card.
Yeah, you're talking about credit card, but you see, I'm in India now. The credit card is not much useful where I'm locked down now. So that is why I asked you. I understand what it is. Okay, so I should say keep the change.
That's true.
Okay, in other words, I will stop because there are other people also. So in other words, the contamination is a big worry. So everything is contaminated. So we will have to take as much as possible precautions. Otherwise, leave it to God, everything.
Very true.
And we really pray for all the health workers, and God bless you.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
വേറെ ആർക്കെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാൻ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ?
ജോയ്, ഞാൻ ക്രിസ്റ്റിയാണ്.
പറഞ്ഞോ.
ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരു സ്ഥലത്ത് വായിച്ച പ്രകാരം വാട്ട് വി ഡു, ഞങ്ങൾ വീടിൻ്റെ പുറത്തൊരു ബോക്സ് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ താഴത്തെ ഗ്രോസറി പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അവരോട് ചോദിക്കുക എത്ര രൂപയാണെന്ന് പറയും. അപ്പോൾ അവരോട് പറയും ഞാൻ ബോക്സിൽ ഇത്ര രൂപ 21 രൂപയാണെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ 21 രൂപ പ്ലസ് ടിപ്പ് വാട്ടർ വെയിറ്റ് അവിടെ വെച്ചിരിക്കും. ഈ പുള്ളിയോട് പറയും അവിടെ താഴെ വെച്ചേക്കാൻ പറയും. അത് പുള്ളി അവിടെ വന്ന് ആ പൈസ എടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് പോകും, സാധനം അവിടെ വെക്കും. ഞങ്ങൾ ഡോറ് തുറന്ന് ടിഷ്യൂ പേപ്പർ ഇട്ടെടുക്കും. ആൻഡ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ സിങ്കിൽ കൊണ്ടുപോയി വെച്ചിട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ കൈ കഴുകി അതിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിലത്തെ സാധനം മാറ്റി ആ കവർ അപ്പം തന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾ ഡിസ്കാർഡ് ചെയ്യും. ഇൻ ദ സെൻസ് ഞങ്ങൾ എവിടെയെങ്കിലും ഇടും. ദെൻ അഗെയിൻ വാഷ് ഇറ്റ്. കൈ വാഷ് ചെയ്ത് ഇപ്പം മിൽക്ക് ആണെങ്കിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ അത് വാഷ് ചെയ്ത് അങ്ങനത്തെ വാഷ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയ സാധനങ്ങളൊക്കെ എടുത്ത് വാഷ് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ പ്രിസർവ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഇത് ഞാനിവിടെ വായിച്ചാണ്. വി ആർ ഫോളോയിങ് ഇറ്റ്. അത് എത്രത്തോളം മറ്റുള്ളവർക്ക് എഫക്റ്റീവ് ആവുമെന്ന് അറിയത്തില്ല. ഐ വാസ് ജസ്റ്റ് പാസിംഗ് ഓൺ ദി ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ. ഡോക്ടർക്ക് അതിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ആഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമെങ്കിൽ യു ക്യാൻ ആഡ്.
Nothing much. It is, I guess basically we are trying to spread കുറയ്ക്കാനായിട്ട് നോക്കുകയാണ്. മേ ബി ടിഷ്യൂസും ടിഷ്യൂ പേപ്പറിന് പകരം ഗ്ലൗസ് ഇട്ടുകൊണ്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതായിരിക്കും കുറച്ചും കൂടെ എഫക്റ്റീവ്. Otherwise what you're doing is the right thing.
Thank you.
വേറെ ആർക്കെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാനുണ്ടോ? അച്ചോ
അജി സംസാരിച്ചോ?
അച്ഛാ ഈ ക്ലോത്ത് മാസ്ക് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ടെന്ന് പ്രയോജനമുണ്ടോ?
ക്ലോത്ത് മാസ്ക് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, പ്രയോജനമുണ്ട്. ക്ലോത്ത് മാസ്ക് അഗെയിൻ കൂടുതലും അത് നമുക്ക് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് ഇൻഫെക്ഷൻ കിട്ടുന്നതിന് പകരം അത് ഇൻഫെക്ഷൻ ഉള്ള ഒരാൾ സ്പ്രെഡ് ചെയ്യാതിരിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയാണ് അതിന്റെ ഉപയോഗം. ലൈക്ക് സർജിക്കൽ മാസ്കും ക്ലോത്ത് മാസ്കും ആക്ച്വലി ഡസ് ദ സെയിം തിങ്. ലൈക്ക് അത് സ്പ്രെഡ് ചെയ്യാതിരിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് ബെറ്റർ. ലൈക്ക് ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഒരു ഇൻഫെക്ഷൻ ഉള്ള ഒരാള് പുള്ളി സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോഴോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്നീസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴോ കോഫ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴോ he releases a lot of droplets into the environment. അത് പ്രിവെന്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയാണ് മാസ്ക് കൂടുതലും പ്രയോജനം. പക്ഷേ നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു ഇൻഫെക്ഷൻ ഉള്ള ഒരാള് മാസ്ക് ധരിക്കാതെ നമ്മൾ മാസ്ക് ധരിച്ചിട്ട് പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് പ്രയോജനം ഉണ്ട്. ലിമിറ്റ് ഒരു to a small extent, but not like it's definitely going to prevent you from getting infection.
സാധാരണ മാസ്ക് 3 ലെയർ മാസ്ക് ആണല്ലോ, ഇതിപ്പോ സിംഗിൾ ലെയർ ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്ന പ്രൊട്ടക്ഷൻ കിട്ടുമോ?
ഇല്ല. That's what I was also talking about. Cloth mask തന്നെ അതിപ്പം പല ഒരു റിസർച്ച് അനുസരിച്ച് ഡിഫറെന്റ് ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് മെറ്റീരിയൽസ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് മോർ ബെനിഫിഷ്യൽ. Like cotton and flannel, cotton and silk. Our combination use ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് the filtration becomes much effective. That's what the study said.
Thank you, doctor.
And
thank you, doctor, for the valuable information. What I wanted to know was, you said when you remove the mask, you have to either keep it on a tissue paper or in a bag. Do we have to remove the mask when we have to eat, or can we just put it below your mouth?
No, that's a wrong practice. You should not be doing that. Our video, they had showed it like it is a wrong practice to keep it below on your chin or like hanging on your neck, because a contaminated surface can contaminate the other parts of your, like your hand can get contaminated, your clothes can get contaminated. So it's better, you should not be doing that. You should remove the mask completely the way it was said and then reuse it later if required.
Okay, because when we go to work, we work for about 7 hours, 8 hours a day, and it's very difficult to wear the mask all the time. So sometimes I just like kind of remove it and put it a little low so I can breathe. So that's not advisable.
No, definitely, that's not advisable.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor, for a very interesting and very interesting session. I have 2 questions actually. One is regarding fruits and vegetables that we buy from supermarkets or grocery stores. When we go to the supermarket, yes, we use gloves and we pick them up and we bring. But once we bring them home, how do we sanitize them before we store them? Or should we sanitize them before we store them? My second question is about shoes, because there's been so much that we've been hearing that the virus can come in through shoes as well. And what can we do about limiting it or trying to reduce of how we can not bring in the virus into our homes? most places, most apartments, they don't allow us to put things outside our homes or leave our shoes outside the doors. So what can we do to protect ourselves or make it a little better for us?
See, vegetables and fruits, if you have it, if it can be washed with soap and water, that should be good enough. Like if there is a virus particle on the vegetable or fruits, other soap and water which wash and pattuman or that is the best thing to do. Regarding shoes, there are studies which I also have read that shoes can carry infection home. Again, unfortunately, we don't have much choices. Either leave it outside on a regular basis, and if you have the option to do that, don't bring it inside the house, leave it outside, or leave it in a designated area in your house, like so that you don't walk around with it in the house and then you get it contaminated. And try to use the same shoes almost every day, so that you don't use multiple footwear. So which means all of your footwear is going to get contaminated. And even if it gets contaminated, you can leave it for a while, like depending upon the surface. Like on each surface, it can remain for a specific period of time. And plus, if you are able to leave these things in sunlight, like sunlight, the virus did not stay alive for a while. Like within minutes, it will die. That's what they say. Sunlight, others, clothes in sunlight, if there is virus particles on that, it will die within minutes because of the ultraviolet rays. So that is another option. The third option, what I would say is nowadays the ultraviolet lamps are getting popular. It's like you can buy it nowadays very easily. Ultraviolet lamps you can decontaminate your things, like vegetables, fruits, shoes, anything can be decontaminated using an ultraviolet lamp. That's another option which is more practical.
Doctor, അതുപോലെ ഈ ഫേസ് ഷീൽഡ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതായിട്ട് ഇപ്പം പലപ്പോഴും കാണുന്നുണ്ട്. How does it protect us?
Face shield is more good for a splash, like splash like liquids. I mean, നമ്മൾ സംസാരിക്കുമ്പം വരുന്ന ഡ്രോപ്ലെറ്റ്സ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ തുമ്മുമ്പോഴോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ചുമയ്ക്കുമ്പോഴും വരുന്ന ഡ്രോപ്ലെറ്റ്സ് അത് പ്രിവെന്റ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് it is useful. It is useful for people who are working in close proximity with the customer. Like for example, counteril nikkunna, adayathu cash counteril nikkunna aalkar, that customers are very close to them. When they talk, that kind of droplets will get prevented. Otherwise, there is nothing like the other told us muriya samayam nadakkunnadil prathyekicha karyamilla.
Thank you, doctor. ഇനി ആരെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ എന്തെങ്കിലും ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കാനായിട്ട്? Yeah, Simon.
താങ്ക് യു ഡോക്ടർ. ഡോക്ടർ, രണ്ട് ചോദ്യങ്ങളാണ് എനിക്കുള്ളത്. ഒന്നെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാനിങ്ങനെ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് ഈ ബ്ലഡിനകത്ത് ഓക്സിജന്റെ ലെവൽ കുറയുന്നത് കൊറോണയുടെ കേസിനകത്ത് അറിയത്തില്ല. അപ്പോൾ SpO2 ഓക്കെ, അത് കാരണമാണ് മിക്കവാറും ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ഓക്സിജൻ ലെവൽ ഒത്തിരി താഴെ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിൽ എത്തുന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് അവർ വെന്റിലേറ്റർ ഇടേണ്ടി വരുന്നത്. അപ്പം I heard that Samsung mobile has that SpO2 testing this thing. So how good is that, and whether we can trust that? That's the question.
Sure. See, the thing is that what you said is correct. In coronavirus, SpO2 levels goes down. This is because the oxygen exchange in the lungs is not happening properly. This is because there is accumulation of secretions inside the lungs, which is causing it. And if this is what you said is very correct. Like it happens gradually. Like what basically happens is it happens very gradually, and the patient did not realize it. പലപ്പോഴും ഞങ്ങൾ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് പേഷ്യൻസ് normal saturation should be about 98 to 100% on room air. പക്ഷേ we take it normal even if it comes down to 95%. Cutoff as of today for these patients is 93%. So ചിലപ്പം we see patients who are sitting at 75-80% or 85%, and the patient is not aware of it. This is probably because there is a gradual reduction of SpO2 over time, and the patient gets accustomed to it. And normally check cheyyumbozhanu ariyunnathu ithrayum koravaanennullathu. Other Samsung mobile, I'm not aware of it, but I am not sure if there is any studies conducted and if it is actually useful. I mean, clinically we actually use a probe. When you would have noticed, like വിരലിന്റെ മേലെ ഒരു probe വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ check ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So if it is the same principle what the Samsung is also using, then probably it is useful. But honestly, I'm not sure about it.
Okay. Second question is, as you have said, vitamin D is very important, and government and everyone is advising people to stay at home. Okay, so how they are going to get vitamin D if they are not going out?
Good question. But at least in this situation, I think we should start taking supplements, vitamin D supplements at a higher dose to begin with. Because നമ്മൾ എല്ലാവർക്കും ഇത് ചെയ്യും ഈ vitamin D ചെയ്താൽ the cutoff is 30 to 100 is normal range. Most of us have it below 20. I mean, it is from my experience I'm saying, and plus നമ്മുടെ population is നമ്മുടെ attitude എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ വെളിയിൽ ഇറങ്ങുമ്പോൾ if we have a choice between sun and shade, we will always run to the shade. We won't go in the sun and stand for even 2 minutes. Other time, the white guy, he will run and stand in the sun. He will not stand in the shade. And that exactly is the difference why we people have less vitamin D compared to them. So at this situation, I think I would say, meet your physician, get your levels checked. Our levels is very important. Our levels ne base on dose decide.
Thank you, doctor.
Dr. Christy, നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ ഓക്സിജൻ ലെവലിന്റെ കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞു, അത് CPAP മെഷീൻ ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യുമോ?
CPAP machine is, there are studies which says ventilation konda actually the patients are getting harmed. Ventilation kodukkunnonde their alveoli are not able to take the pressure, and that is harming the patient than benefiting the patient. Like I told you in the beginning, people do not know much information about this. CPAP might help because it's basically maintaining the airway pressure. I mean, I won't be able to confidently tell you that is a solution, but it's a possibility.
Okay. Thank you.
ഡോക്ടർ സജിയാണ് സംസാരിക്കുന്നത്. ഒരു കാര്യം ചോദിക്കാനായിരുന്നു. വിറ്റാമിൻ ഡി ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ most of the children, wife, husband, everyone is now in the lockdown time. So do you suggest that if we are able, now the temperature also is outside is around more than 40 to 45 degrees centigrade range. So it's that good time for us to go out to the temperature at an afternoon time or 2 to 3 o'clock and walk for around 10-15 minutes, because as you rightly said, the exposure of the skin is also very less because we are on covered clothes because of corona and situation like that. Then actually with the gloves, only the elbow, up to the elbow is exposed, and also the head is only exposed, maybe the feet portion as well. So what do you suggest on that timing, and what can be a better time when we can go outside and as a family and do some walking?
Sure. See, the recommendation is 20 to 30 minutes of sun exposure every day with at least 1/3 of your skin exposed. I mean, if it is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's good. But then at least we should be t-shirts, sleeveless t-shirts, and shorts. That's the most ideal thing. But practically, it is not possible all the time because of the cultural reasons. So at least the maximum exposure of the skin without sunblock, and plus do not stay in the sun for a long period. Kudal samayam nikkunathu is also not good for you, which can cause skin problems. So it's better to avoid. And summer it is difficult. Like in Dubai, the temperature it's difficult. So it's better to take supplements. And winter maybe spend more time, like maybe spend time in the beach, or like at least once a week, if possible. And poolside, those kind of things which will benefit much more. But summer, I usually don't recommend much of spending time in the sun because it's way too hot and it's practically difficult.
Thank you,
Doctor, ഒന്ന് ചോദിക്കാനുള്ളത്, ഡോക്ടർ പറഞ്ഞു പലർക്കും അസിംപ്റ്റമാറ്റിക് ആയിട്ട് വന്നിട്ട് പോകാറുണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യം വന്നിട്ട് പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ what is the chance of getting it back? Are you getting some kind of resistivity to that?
usually COVID infection, which is a viral infection, അത് വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ as per like നമുക്ക് അറിയാവുന്നിടത്തോളം viral infections usually give some immunity. ആ immunity നമ്മുടെ ബോഡിയിൽ ആന്റിബോഡീസ് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ then we have resistance to that infection. അത് രണ്ടാമത്തെ വരാതിരിക്കാനുള്ള chances, the possibility is high. So which means നമ്മുടെ ബോഡിക്ക് we have immunity. It also depends upon the type of virus, which disease. Like for example, chickenpox. Chickenpox നമുക്ക് ഒരിക്കൽ വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്ക് രണ്ടാമത്തെ for our entire life it doesn't come again. Or if it says like 40 years the immunity lasts. പക്ഷേ ഇപ്പം ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസ ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസയുടെ immunity lasts for about 3 to 4 years. In coronavirus, there are studies which says it only lasts for about 3 months. We do not know. Like I told you, we do not know. We have to wait and see how the studies come out to see how long the immunity is going to last. But there are very few cases which is not statistically significant, which they say have had reinfection. Reinfection വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളതിന് പക്ഷേ it's not common, it's very rare. And ഈ ഒരു ആന്റിബോഡീസ് ഉള്ളത് കൊണ്ടാണ് ഈ പ്ലാസ്മ തെറാപ്പി ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Plasma therapy is basically they take the patient's blood and adinathu plasma ikathu there is antibodies which is helping the people to recover faster.
ഡോക്ടർ അടുത്ത ടെസ്റ്റിങ്ങിനെ പറ്റിയാണ് ചോദിക്കാനുള്ളത്. ബോഡിയിൽ വൈറസ് വന്നതിന് ശേഷം എപ്പോൾ ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്താലാണ് whether it is infected or not എന്ന് അറിയാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്?
ഈ ഒരിക്കൽ എക്സ്പോഷർ വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ usually in 2 days time 2 to 15 days the virus can, like 2 days കഴിയുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് virus മിക്കവാറും ടെസ്റ്റിൽ പോസിറ്റീവ് ആകാൻ സാധ്യതയുണ്ട്. But this is not hard and fast rules. Like the incubation period is up to 14 days. Like ആ 14 days എപ്പം വേണമെങ്കിലും വരാം, but mostly after 2 days it will be positive, even if there is no symptoms.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. എല്ലാവരുടെയും സംശയങ്ങൾക്കെല്ലാം പ്രത്യേകമായിട്ട് നന്ദി. വിശേഷാൽ ഈ സെഷൻ വളരെ ഇൻഫർമേറ്റീവ് ആയിരുന്നത് നമുക്കറിയാമല്ലോ. പങ്കെടുത്ത എല്ലാവരെയും ഈ സെഷൻ ലീഡ് ചെയ്ത ഡോക്ടർ ജേക്കബ് ചെറിയാനുള്ള നന്ദി ഞാൻ പ്രത്യേകമായിട്ട് അറിയിക്കുന്നു. എന്തെങ്കിലും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇനിയും പരസ്യമായിട്ട് ഇത് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഡൗട്ട്സ് ചോദിക്കാൻ പ്രയാസം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഡോക്ടറുമായിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെടാവുന്നതാണ്. നമ്മുടെ ടെലിഫോൺ ഡയറക്ടറിയിൽ നമ്പറുണ്ട്, ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് നിങ്ങളുടെ സംശയങ്ങൾ പ്രൈവറ്റ് ആയിട്ടാണ് ചോദിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത് ചോദിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സംശയങ്ങൾ തീർക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. പ്രത്യേകം ഒരിക്കൽ ഞാൻ എല്ലാവരുടെയും പേരിൽ ഞാൻ ഡോക്ടർ ചെറിയാനുള്ള നന്ദി ഈ സമയത്ത് അറിയിക്കുന്നു. വീഡിയോ കാണുവരെ നമസ്കാരം. നിങ്ങളുടെ താങ്ക് യു വെരി മച്ച് ഫോർ ദ പേഷ്യന്റ് ലിസണിംഗ്. താങ്ക് യു.